Okay, I have to get this rant out of the way before I start putting on makeup to get ready for a thing, because I might cry. And I don't want to cry. I'm not planning to cry. But who knows? Because it's something that really upsets me. There's something I'm discovering about myself in this PTSD existence that's really fucking pissing me off. A symptom, if you will, a hidden one, maybe. Maybe I've talked about or referred to it in the past by something else. I don't know. I have very bad things, blindness, as far as things that happen to me. When something not good, bad, uncomfortable, maybe hurtful, harmful happens to me, when somebody treats me a certain way, I have very bad blindness as to how bad it is, because I'm going through a thing, and it has nothing to do with my fucking husband, because some of you love to fucking pry, but it has nothing to do with that, and I'm not even the type of fucking influencer or creator, whatever the fuck, that would get on here and tell you every goddamn detail about my fucking marriage and family life, and you can quote me that most of the occurrences of that on the fucking internet, on social media, are absolutely fucking crazy and not it. You can quote me. I have very bad blindness to things that are happening to me. I don't know how serious it is. And everyone around me can be saying like, yo, that's really fucking bad. And you like, something needs to be done about that. That's really fucking bad. And I'll be like, you sure? Because I feel like where that comes from, and this could be coming up because I've recently recounted, what happened to me in the military. But like once upon a time, me missing a comma in an email would be justification for my abuser to like pull me into her office and just start berating me, threatening me, or just like threaten me with anything else, or write me up some paperwork, or just call me names. That something that small could be cause for punishment. Something that small could be like something that I did wrong, that I have to be punished that fucking much. If I go even further back, I remember like I accidentally left a jacket, I think, at the mall. Was it Westview Mall on Highway 6 in Houston? Some of you might know it. And my dad freaked the fuck out, and he called me stupid, and seeing as I've blocked out a lot of physical abuse that he's done. My mom has had to remind me, that certain things happened, and that may have been one that I blocked out, that I may have been, like something that small could warrant that much fucking punishment, right? And so, and because of that, now my day can go from okay to terrible so fast if I do something wrong. I could drop something. I could literally spill milk. It's beyond crying over spilled milk, right? It's not even crying over spilled milk. It is being cruel to myself over spilled milk. It is saying like, well, that's why you don't deserve to fucking live. You're fucking stupid, and a bunch of other names that I would never call anybody else. Like, it's that. And part of my brain knows that that's absolutely not necessary and wrong. That's absolutely not necessary, and it's absolutely wrong, and I shouldn't treat myself like that. And that is not a big deal. But another part of me automatically reacts and says that it is a big fucking deal, Because once upon a time, missing a comma or smiling was cause for abuse. Yes, smiling. And so when bad things happen to me, how do I know it's not that? You know? How do I know I'm not just getting triggered over something that's relatively inconsequential? How do I know? It's like I'm probably like gaslighting myself, or just like, and I think it's also because looking back, like the things that I had to endure were so extreme. The things that I had to endure to survive were so extreme and freakish, and in many cases, in many ways, unlike any cases that a lot of people have seen before. And so honestly, like it was so severe that anything that I go through now can almost never compare to what I survived. And so it can never compare to what I survived, but it could still be bad, but I don't know. It could still be really bad, but I don't know. Because I trained myself to survive such extreme circumstances and be completely just stoic, and sometimes just not even cry, and just take it day after day after day, and just shut everything off, and shut off my emotions, shut off my happiness, shut off my personality, and do my best in the moment to make it not hurt, to make it not be such a big deal. And that just became the norm for me. I never fucking cry on the internet. Once upon a time, I had to make it so that something so severe just did not shock me or impact me so badly anymore. And so when I'm being mistreated or abused now in the after times, I have no gauge, I have no scale, I have no way to measure how bad or hurtful or abusive it is. Because number one, it could never be as terrible as what I went through. And number two, how do I know that I'm not overreacting? How do I know I'm just not, triggered by something relatively inconsequential? How do I know? And I think I'm really upset because I thought maybe this might be something that I figured out over the past 8 years, or just got better at, better at setting boundaries, better at standing up for myself, better at speaking up for myself, better at protecting myself, better at, just making sure that no one ever puts me in the state of mind that woman put me in. Non-stop for 1.5 years. That did so much fucking mental damage that I'm gonna have to work through it forever, like probably for the rest of my life. Judging by the fact that it's been 8 years and I'm just now realizing this, it really is gonna be a long time. That's I guess that's another thing too. Like realizing that you're just now realizing something else makes you feel like, oh, this is gonna be a long road to recovery, which on top of everything else is not linear. And so there's lots and lots of room for you to feel like a failure and feel like you're not making any progress, to feel like you're regressing, to feel ashamed and embarrassed, particularly of your symptoms. I have really bad things blindness. I'm sure I'm not alone. I just don't know. And I have to constantly be asking for validation from other people, which is something we try to get away from, right? You want to self-validate. It's something you try to get away from, right? And granted, I do ask for validation from people that I trust and the people that I love, and but I'm always having to ask validation, like, yo, this was really bad, right? This is pretty bad, right? And then they'll be like, yeah, Nick, that was really fucking bad, like, very, and you're justified in responding this way, and feeling this way. And then, of course, and then where does my brain go to next? Is like, are you sure you're not just saying that because you know me and love me and you're my friend, or you're my husband, you're my this, you're my that, and you're biased? Are you sure you're not telling me that because you're biased towards me and just like automatically siding with me? Which is also funny because once upon a time, that's something that I would have wanted from so many people more than anything in the world, was just to side with me, to believe me, to get me out. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen for a long time. And it finally happened near the end, when I was really in danger. Even that situation, even what happened to me in the military in Grand Forks, I am constantly having to ask for validation from my therapist, like, yo, this was really bad, right? Even that situation, that's the thing. Even what happened to me, I'm like, that was really bad, right? That was really bad, right? Because somehow your brain finds like time to gaslight yourself, to gaslight you, and be like, are you sure you have PTSD? Are you sure you're not just a bitch? So I'm like, if I'm still trying to even validate that the thing that disordered me, then gosh, gee golly wow, like when other things happen that are maybe like probably 10% as serious as what happened that time, what hope do I have? What hope do I have for self-validation if I'm still trying to validate what happened to me? Do you guys understand? Like, so many people know my story. So many people know what happened to me. I have hundreds, probably thousands of people in comments of validating that what I went through was terrible, that when they watched my series about what happened, they were triggered. They had to turn it off. They had to watch it in parts. They cried. They went into panic attacks. They felt it. They were terrified. I have hundreds, maybe thousands of people validating me on what happened, and I still can't 100% believe it. I have really bad things blindness. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm trying to figure out what to do about it. The daily affirmations are great, just like, fuck, like, I don't know. And you can try the whole, like, well, what if it happened to somebody else? You would probably be reacting differently. Yeah, maybe, but you know what? My brain can't even recontextualize it. I don't know why. It can't even recontextualize, like, if this happened to somebody else, then how would you, like, it's still so hard to recontextualize that. Because I'm so fucking hard on myself, and because I'm so just hyperfixated on what I'm doing and wondering if what I'm doing is wrong. I'm pissed about this. I'm really, really pissed about this. And as usual, it's a rant. And sometimes, or most of the time, when you're ranting, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a solution. There's no thesis statement, thematic statement to this. It's a rant, and I have no solution. I have no solution yet. I'm trying to figure it out, obviously, now that I fucking know. But I have no solution about it. And as I'm going through this thing, I'm just like, I just constantly need this fucking validation to help me out. And even then I'll reject it. So it's just like, what the fuck? How do you win? How do you win? How the fuck do you win? Anyway, fuck it. I'm gonna go put on my makeup and get ready for a thing.